How's everyone doing? Today I got an awesome package in the mail from my friend Ryan on here. Definitely go check out his channel. Put a link down below. Blu-Ray Lantern, which is a really cool name as well. Kind of combines the love of movies and comics. I assume you're into comics as well. I don't think I've actually seen comic book related stuff on your channel yet. But I know he's done a few different videos where he's shown his Steelbook collection, his Criterion collection, his Bigfoot movies. He did a couple movie reviews as well, Fault in Their Stars. And he messaged me on Instagram actually, and he said he got something for me signed, and he wanted to send it to me. I was like, are you sure? What can I do for you? Is there something that you want to trade for? And he's like, no, I just want to send this to you, which just is super generous and just blows me away when anybody wants to send me anything. I'm like, who am I? That's awesome. So I really do appreciate that. And he sent it, and it came super quick. It came from Texas. I opened up the box, but I haven't looked inside yet. And first off, I saw this. It came in a huge mail truck, by the way. Like a giant mail truck came up, not the regular post office ones. But I can only imagine what the guy thought when he saw the address label on here, because he put this on there for my name. I don't know if you could see that on there. The man, the legend, Jay Swick. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. You're blowing up my head a little bit. Very generous, very nice of you to say that as well. I've had a lot of fun making videos on here, and I've done a lot of trades. I've found tons of different movies, which I think is a really cool outlet. You can talk to people all over the world and see all these different movies you may not have heard of before. But I've also made a lot of good friends on here too, which is really cool. So I've had a great experience on here, and I definitely want to keep making videos. People ask me, are you going to quit making videos? No, I was on here for a long time on my other channel before I came up to this one. And I have taken some time off for personal reasons before, but I always come back to it because I love making videos. It's a lot of fun. Great creative outlet. But he sent me a box of goodies right here. It looks like, because there definitely looks like to be more stuff in here. First up is a picture right here. This is like a postcard with Philip Seymour Hoffman, his character from The Master, which I haven't seen it yet. I know it's a Paul Thomas Anderson film. I've wanted to see it for a while. I've heard mixed reviews for it, but I wanted to pick up like the Steelbook. I know Plain Archive put out a really nice looking edition for it as well. It has a little quote right here as well. I think this is actually it's a great picture, and I'm a big fan of Paul Thomas Anderson, so I definitely want to check this out. Although I didn't like Punch Drunk Love. I know a lot of people love that movie, but I like Boogie Nights. I love Magnolia. I love There Will Be Blood, one of my favorite movies of all time now. But he wrote a nice note right here, and I'll go ahead and read that. Hey Jay, I hope you enjoy this box of random stuff. Very cool. The comic and DVD are both signed by Steve Niles. That's what he told me about, which is super cool. Thank you for thinking of me, by the way. You may already have the other Blu-rays, but I had extras. Well, I did not expect that. Thank you. I make the journals like the one I sent you out of old comic book covers. Enjoy. Interesting. I guess there's a journal in here somewhere with the comic book cover, so that's cool. I have a journal right here. I always have it on my desk. I had another journal which I kept a lot of my movie ideas and concepts that I wanted to make videos for. Video concepts, not movie concepts, but some movie stuff in there too. I wrote a little scripts and screenplays here and there, but I can't find that journal. I had like a ton. It was filled, back and front pages on a lot of them, but completely filled with video concept ideas that I wanted to do, and I don't know where it went to. So I have to kind of start over with that. So that's cool. There's a journal in here with a comic book cover, and it says, God bless Ryan. To you as well, my friend. And I believe he is like a youth pastor as well, and he's from Texas. I was born in Texas, El Paso, border town, and it's funny, one of my best friends growing up when I was a kid, he's now a youth pastor as well. So very cool. And I like that postcard a lot. I need to check out The Master. Let me know if you've seen it. And I guess with all these different movies that might be in here, let me know if you've seen them and what you think of them as well. Very cool. There's a lot of bubble wrap in here. He definitely took the time to wrap this up very well. First up, this looks cool. I can see this right here on top. It comes in a little Christmas ornament shape design right here, packaging wise. It's a He-Man and She-Ra Christmas special. I don't believe, if I did see this, I saw it when I was a kid, but I don't remember it, but I loved He-Man when I was a kid. There's Orko, I believe his name was. I had that. That was a really cool one. I had tons of the He-Man action figures as well, but I love the cartoon. I remember watching She-Ra a few times because like my babysitter would like make me watch it, but Yeah, it is Orko. It says right there. Haha, memory does not fail me. But this is cool. I like the packaging a lot to it as well. And I'm looking forward to checking this one out. I haven't watched He-Man since forever, but I can't believe there's no more Saturday morning cartoons. That's crazy. That blows my mind. I remember as a little kid getting up to watch all the different cartoons. There were so many great cartoons as a kid. Like, I'll try to watch Cartoon Network now just to see what's, cartoons are now for kids, and most of them are, I don't know. Maybe it's just because I'm getting older, but they don't seem to compare to when I was a kid. I mean, tons of great cartoons. Let me know what your favorite Saturday morning cartoon was. Next up was, this is cool, a box of Bigfoot. 3 movies, 1 low price. Hillbillies vs. Sasquatch, 3 Tales of Redneck Terror. I know he showed this in his Bigfoot collection update. And a lot of the movies that he showed were ones I haven't even heard of before. There's one View Askew production, which I really want to check that one out. I think The Lost Coast Tapes or something like that is one I want to check out. And then Exists, the new one from Eduardo Sanchez, is one I really want to check out. I'm not a fan of the Blair Witch Project, but I really loved Altered and what is the other one? Lovely Molly as well. Those are 2 that I loved from him. Right here, this contains 3 movies: The Barbaric Beast of Boggy Creek, like The Legend of Boggy Creek, The Capture of Bigfoot, and The Legend of Bigfoot, which I haven't seen any of these, but The Capture of Bigfoot looks awesome. He actually talked about that in his update too, and I agree that if I saw that, that is something I would totally want to see, and I can't wait to check this one out, especially. So very cool. This is brand new, still sealed. Thank you. All right, and here is a bunch of Blu-rays, it looks like. You did not have to send me all this awesome stuff. What you initially were telling me about blew me away. That totally made my, for a while now. I'm not gonna say made my day, but made my a long time. Yeah, this is one of the things that he actually sent me a picture of it, and I thought this was awesome. This blew me away. This is what he was telling me about. He got to meet Stephen Niles, and he was, I think he wrote the comic and he wrote the screenplay for 30 Days of Night, and I love this movie. This has become one of my all-time favorite movies. I was thinking about this last night. One of the things I wanted to do was my top 10 favorite vampire movies. I want to put the original Nosferatu on there. I love Fright Night and The Lost Boys as well. But Let the Right One In is either 1 or 2, and this one is probably right up there too. It's either 1 or 2 for me. I'm going back and forth between Let the Right One In and 30 Days of Night. This one, I think, for me, has more rewatchability factor. I've seen this a ton of times. In fact, I just watched it not last night, but the night before. I actually posted on my Instagram about it. If you're not following me on Instagram, check that out because I'm addicted to Instagram. I post on there all the time what I'm eating, what I'm watching, what came in the mail, all kinds of stuff like that. And yeah, actually, it's funny because he messaged me and then I don't know if it was later that day or the next day, it came on TV on the Sci-Fi Channel. It came on twice that day actually, and I was like, that's what I'm gonna do for the next couple hours. And actually the gore wasn't edited out on there, which I was surprised, just the language was. So there's a lot of gore on there that caught me off guard because I thought it would be edited out for TV, but it wasn't. Head smashing and blood, and yeah, I love this movie. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend it. I've talked about this numerous times, and that's what he thought of me when he met him, and I guess he had an extra Blu-ray, and that is super cool. Big fan of the movie, like I said before. I love the concept, especially where there's vampires in Alaska. They have 30 Days of Night there. And I'm actually surprised that this hasn't been done for a movie before. I know there was a Tales from the Crypt episode, but I know there's been other countries. I know Frostbitten kind of dealt with that a little bit, but not really. But this is the one that really kind of did it. And I think maybe the reason some people don't give this one a fair chance because of the well-known cast, Melissa George and Josh Hartnett, but they should definitely give this one a chance. I think people that aren't even that big into horror can appreciate this one. I think it's just a fantastic film. I know I'm gushing about this one. I love Ben Foster in here too. He really kind of steals the scenes that he's in. And I thought Josh Hartnett was great in here, and Melissa George is beautiful. And I love how the blood really pops on the white snow. I've said that a bunch too when I talk about this movie, but I think that's something that really stands out. And it's just kind of the vampires in here are really dirty and gritty, and I like their language and everything about it. And this is really cool that I have this now signed. I actually have a DVD of this signed as well, but I'm a huge fan, so I'm gonna have a collection now, and this definitely makes me happy to add this to my collection. I want to get a poster too. I want to get a poster where it's like this, because all the posters that I've seen American-wise are just of this image down here in this corner, and they don't have Josh Hartnett and Melissa George on there. I would like this right here, this whole image, as a poster, because all the ones I've seen are just like that. But I know there's a French poster that looks really cool too, so I might try to see if I can get that. But yeah, big fan. Thank you so much. That is really awesome. I'm souped for that right there. Next up, he sent me a couple other Blu-rays. I do have Crawl. So I would, I'm not going to say let's make a trade for this one. I think I'm going to pass on the love like he did. He sent me this, so I'm going to send this to somebody as well. I think I have somebody in mind already, so I'm going to probably message this person in a little bit and send this their way, maybe with some extra stuff, kind of, pass on those good vibes right there, that good movie vibe right there. So very cool. Thank you for thinking of me. I do have this one. I have to rewatch it though. I have it on Blu-ray, but I haven't seen it since I was younger. So looking forward to rewatching this one. Next up is one that I've wanted to see. Actually, this has been on my wish list for a while, and it's Recycle. I don't know too much about it. I know it's an Asian film, and it has like a sci-fi element to it. But I've been wanting to check it out for a long time, and now I can finally watch it. So thank you so much for this one. This is one I don't have, and I wanted to see for a while. So I can finally sit down and watch that one. And I'm just really excited. I know I'm kind of repeating myself, and that's what I do a lot of my videos. That's why I edit a lot. I'm not going to edit this one, so I'm sorry. You have to deal with the repetition. Lots of bubble wrap, which I appreciate. Oh, this is super cool. I think this is one of the Funko mystery minis, and it's of Sam from Trick or Treat, which I love Trick or Treat. They're making a sequel, which I personally don't think it needs a sequel, but, I'm all for looking forward to seeing more Sam, so let's go ahead and do that. And I loved the film. I think it deserved a wider release. I think it just had a limited release for Trick or Treat, and I think Anna Paquin's segment was my favorite. If you haven't checked out Trick or Treat, definitely do yourself the favor and do so. I'm going to add this to my figure collection. Most of the figures I have were from stuff that people sent me, actually, so this is going to go with that. So I actually love this. This is super cool. I'm digging the heck out of that right now. And next up is a decal or sticker, Transformers right there. Autobots and Decepticons. Does anybody remember GoBots? That was one that I loved. It's kind of like the bootleg version of Transformers, but I loved GoBots. It was a lot of fun. So let me know if you remember that. Next up with the comic, he told me he was going to send me. He didn't tell me what the comic was, but he told me he also got a comic signed by Steve Niles, and it's Monster and Madmen right there. And there's the signature right there in the gold Sharpie. It looks very nice. And it's the secret history of Jack the Ripper and Frankenstein's monster. Very cool. I actually just recently got back into comics. I was really into comics when I was younger. I wanted to be a comic book artist. I posted, I think, videos on my old channel, and I think maybe one on this channel of some drawings and stuff I did. I haven't drawn as much recently. Every now and then I'll get the motivation and inspiration to do it, but not as much as when I was younger. But I had tons of comics. I lost a bunch of my comics during a move years ago. So just recently I went to a comic book store that was local, and when I went there, they're like, oh, we're moving. So I'm like, aw. But very cool. I'm looking forward to checking this one out. And I do want to check out the 30 Days of Night comic books, too. I haven't checked those ones out. And the Walking Dead comics, too. And anything with snow, I'm into. So, and this is the journal that he was talking about, which is really cool. I guess he takes old comic book covers and he laminates them, and then he puts the paper in here like that. So it's a journal right there. Which is really cool because I use journals a lot, actually. So I think this is awesome, and I love that cover, the Green Lantern, which is, again, Blu-ray Lantern, so I'm assuming you're a fan of the Green Lantern, shark bait. And here's a little known fact about me. I've talked about it, actually, just recently. Jaws, any kind of, like, water and stuff, I don't know how to swim. I moved around a lot growing up, and I actually dated, in high school, an Olympic-level swimmer. Her whole family was into swimming, and she was always in the pool, so the last thing she wanted to do when we were hanging out was teach me how to swim. So, and I was younger, so I really wasn't trying to learn how to swim when I was hanging out with her, if you know what I mean. So anyways, but yeah, this is guest starring The Flash. This looks really cool, but I was talking about, so I don't know how to swim, and everything like ocean-wise kind of freaks me out, like sharks freak me out. But one of the things that I used to have a reoccurring nightmare of was a whale. Whales freak me out. I talked about my Steelbook update with Pinocchio. But yeah, I had this reoccurring nightmare of a whale. Like when I was living in Virginia at the time, it was like coming down the street and like just eating houses and eating people. And whales are just giant monsters. They freak me out. People always are like surprised when they hear me say that. I was just talking to a girl last night about that, and I'm like, and she was like, come on, really? I'm like, yeah, they're freaking giant monsters in the sea that could just eat you like nothing and not even think about it. But very cool, and I love that creature right there. I've never seen this comic book, and I like that he has a shark head. So I kind of want to read that comic now. And on the back, there's apparently a Masters of the Universe video game, which I never knew that existed. It was for and television, which I've never played, but before my time. But I really like this. This is a really cool idea. I wish there were more of these out there like this. I would have gotten tons of journals like this. I love that. Very cool, very generous. I am loving this box of goodies right here. I'm going to read this actually probably tonight. So, souped. Thank you so much for thinking of me, Ryan. I really do appreciate it. You're making some great videos. Keep putting out that content. And definitely check out his channel. He's a very nice guy. He's done some great videos so far. I'm looking forward to see what he does more in the future. Again, Blu-Ray Lantern. Put the link down below. I'm loving this. Thank you so much again for thinking of me. Love. This is awesome. I'm a huge fan of this movie. If you haven't checked it out, definitely do yourself a favor and check out 30 Days of Night. And there you go. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Let me know if you've seen any of these movies and what you think of them as well. Hope everyone's doing well. Take care.